Hi, hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Nincompoops podcast. I'm your host, as always, Paul, along with my fellow co-hosts, Dean and Jim. How y'all doing today?
Hello, my name Jeff.
Right.
God damn it. God.
Hey there, my name is Jim, and this is my 41st time being on this podcast. Thank you for welcoming me back, guys.
Whoa, 45th?
Welcome back.
45th? What?
41st.
He said 41st, Paul.
I know what he said. I just slipped up. I said 45 for some reason. 41st. 45th, 41st. Look, they're very similar. All right, you can forgive me for making that mistake.
Yeah, and in the chat, we got our boy Jedediah back live for the first time since like January, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
wow.
So, hey there, Jedediah. How you doing? Right now it's that season for all the college students. I'm assuming they're in the semester system. They're about done by now.
They're finishing up.
Yeah, so it's the end of that, and well, I wish I can say that applied to me, but
Me too.
it doesn't anymore.
Yep. Does it make you feel sad that you're no longer have to look forward to like summer or winter breaks? You just like.
I mean, I'm going back to school eventually, right? So eventually I'm gonna
That's
have that
true.
again, but
That's true.
It
but-
feels so nice having summer again
Yeah,
in the winter breaks.
yeah, definitely. One thing I do miss a lot about being in school is that the most you do is just like you pick your own classes, right? But then for the most part, you're kind of on this path that's already kind of written out for you. But then once you graduate, and then there's that time before you go to school or get a job, whatever it is, you kind of have to do everything yourself, and it does feel a little directionless sometimes because I know what the next step is, but it's not immediate. Like how once you get out of high school, you're like, okay, I'm going to college right away, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
Now you have time to think, which is very good.
yeah.
Like, should I continue this path, go back to school, do masters, and get it finished, or do I do something else?
Yeah, and just part of figuring out what you want to do, right? Because I think something that a lot of people,
Damn, I am.
something,
I like green eggs and ham.
something that is kind of expected of everyone our age is to have like a plan of what you want to do with your life, But then,
Oh yeah, that yeah.
even then, I'm just like, oh, I don't know 100%.
Yeah.
I just am going with what I think is gonna work out. But even then, I'm still kind of like, I don't know. At the same time,
I'm just.
I mean, it's kind of outdated.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
kind
outdated.
of it's kind of outdated with that thinking, especially thinking like, oh, you should know what you want to do by the time you're like in your 20s.
yeah.
Like some people in their like 30s and 40s still don't know what they're doing or what they want to do, and there's also like a whole change in everyone's economic situation too. Just like generationally, COVID times, the economy, like in 2008, and now it's just like more people are just living with their parents. So I guess it gives them a little bit more time to think.
Yeah. I think
Fortunately
another,
and unfortunately.
I think another thing about being our age, because I'm turning 24 soon. So yeah,
Okay.
I don't even like know off the top of my head. I forget what age I am. I forget
Shit,
if
you're
I'm
still
like
23? Holy fuck.
yeah.
We're old. Dean, we're old.
And then you guys are turning 20. But no, Paul, you're already 26, and then
Yeah, I'm
Dean
turning
is turning.
26.
Yeah, so we're at the age where like we're in between, where we're not too old, but we're not too young either. So we have people who are still like going to school and stuff in our lives, but then we also have people who are already having kids, already e- even getting married. Some people are already like having like full-time jobs already, where they get they're already done with school and they're already doing all that
Mhm.
stuff. It's like it's freaking crazy to think about how there's all these people that we know from like high school or college, doing all these different things, and then at our age we're just like, dang, like that's wild. Like we're aging really fast, but at the same time, like we're still
Our,
have so
our,
much more to
our,
learn.
our worries is like, hey, you guys want to play Valorant again tonight?
Want to play games?
Want to play them games?
Want to play them
Yeah.
games? You have games on your
Exactly.
phone?
Exactly. It just feels like, oh, are we failures in life, or are we just just the current situation of things?
I
And
think.
we know what the truth is, but at the same time, you get that nagging thought in the back of your head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I do think a trap that people our age do fall under is that we think about work like all the time when we think about our future. Like, hey, what job am I gonna do? What company am I gonna work for? What major will get me a job? And
It
I think that kind of sucks because I really think that job is not the end all be all of your life, and I think
Yeah.
we need to focus more on things that are not just work. Like
like
like a social life.
I think it's just like an American thing where work is like your identity. Because one of the first things we ask when we meet new people is like, so what do you do? What
Yeah.
do you
What
have
do you
like a
do for
job? What
work?
do you do for work? Or like
Yeah,
what's your
yeah.
major and all that stuff. Like it's our like it's what we do is becomes our identity and not so much like what our interests are.
Yeah, because like this was revealed by one of our friends that we used to talk to a lot. Like we were talking, I think we were doing like a political compass test, I think, and he was in the call, but he wasn't taking himself. I think we were talking about one of the questions was like what was it? Something like the main purpose of school is to get you ready for work or something along those lines. And
Mhm.
then his line of thinking, which I'm not saying is like not valid, but his line of thinking was like, yeah, that's what school's for, is to get you ready to get a job. And and then I remember thinking like, I feel like that's such a narrow way to think about it, because you know like school can get you a job, but then the purpose of school is a lot more important than a lot of people give it credit for. Especially in higher education where people can kind of just see like a college degree as just a piece of paper, when in reality it can give you a lot of skills and experiences that can help you prepare for a job, but will help you um, just kind of navigate through life in general, right, instead of just through work.
I mean, that's a very cultural way of like how we've all been raised thinking. It's just like, obviously step one is like go to school, get good grades, do well, get to a good college, and then once you get to a good college, try to get like a degree for a good, well-paying job. And I don't
Yeah,
blame him for like thinking that way because that's like how almost all of us were raised. I think.
yeah. I mean, and at the end of the day, I'm big on sociology or socioeconomics, where socioeconomics kind of encompasses all aspects of our life all the time. So if you're raised in an environment which encourages you to have those values, then you're more likely to have those values.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas if you're in a more in a, if you were raised in an area which is more like, hey, um which teaches you like, hey, the all these things are really complex, and it's never just one way of thinking. There's like a bunch of perspectives and a bunch of factors you have to take in mind before you can come to a social description or prescription. And and if someone ends up thinking like, hey, my purpose is get a job and make a lot of money, then I don't blame them for thinking that, because that's just how the environment they were in that's just how the environment was being taught to them. Up to that, um, but then it also doesn't let them have a different perspective, or to encompass more factors that they wouldn't consider otherwise.
Well,
And Jedediah says, "Howdy guys, it's been a while since I caught a podcast live. I hope you all are doing well. Yeah, we're doing pretty well.
yeah, been doing good. It's like a nice weather outside. It's getting hot though,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. California, I hear, according to San Jose State University, is that it what California is going to be a lot more drier this year than it was last year. And I heard like specifically about San Jose State. Ironically enough, from one of these political YouTubers I followed, he like mentioned that. I was like, oh, neat. So, but yeah, apparently California is going to be even worse than it was last year. So get ready to potentially leave your houses again, or get ready for in case things burn up even more, which
Yeah,
most likely will.
I think once I move out to, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
hold on. Once I move away from where I'm located right now, it'll be a lot cooler over there.
Yeah, to your new place.
Yeah, the new
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
said you said you guys were like moving in what, June? End of June or something like that?
Early July.
Early July?
Yeah, the closing of escrow is in late June. So, and from what I've searched, after the closing, they'll give you the keys
Mm.
around that time. So, yeah, so it'll be early week of July. Moving in, that's gonna be a pain.
Hey, by that time I think almost all of us will be fully vaccinated after 2 weeks with the exception of one.
Yeah, hopefully it gets
So
it soon.
yeah, it should be fine to like.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be too bad to help you guys move, because it's been, at least for me, it's been like more than a year since, or minus that one time where I kind of hung out with you guys after I got my haircut.
yeah,
Yeah, but other than that, it's been practically more than a year at this point for me since proper
yeah.
hangout.
Yeah, it's been besides that, I think this last one was like February or March or something of 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before lockdowns happened, people were like, this COVID thing is starting to become a problem here.
I mean, assuming you're moving out, let's say like end of June, we'll definitely all be vaccinated, like everyone in your household and everyone in mine.
No,
And I'm
except for one.
oh right. Well,
The
I mean
one,
he's away right now.
yeah, he's out of state.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
It don't matter for him though.
for Paul, same thing for Paul, except for one person in Paul's
Yeah,
household. But
yeah.
yeah, by then we'll be fine for the most part
Yeah,
too. If you need the help to move
yeah.
out.
We'll probably rent a U-Haul truck.
Mm.
I think that's the plan. Just get like a giant U-Haul truck, get everything in, and then, you know, uh, put it in the house, like outside, probably like in the backyard
Do you
or
s-
in the
so
garage.
so once you do move in, right? Do you see yourself living there like for basically like the rest of your life?
Probably.
Oh, really? So this is gonna be like an actual permanent place, not a place you guys move every now and
Not,
then.
it might vary from sibling to sibling, of course. I would imagine
Yeah.
eventually y'all gonna have to move out. Like, I'm just wondering if that place would be where you're gonna stay, assuming no one else wants to have it instead.
Hell no, I'm not moving out of there. What the fuck? I paid, I poured a lot of money in that thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're doing a lot of the payments on that one.
Yeah, I lost so
Mm.
much money on that one that like I don't know.
Yeah,
But like
whenever I
it's such a worth investment that
ooh,
me and my mom have been talking about. Like, of course I'm not I'm not just gonna leave.
and you guys are actually owning that place, or
Yes, we are owning the place.
Yeah.
wow, shit. Whenever I decide to get my own place one day, whenever that happens, I'm gonna ask you for some advice. Like, hey, how does this work, friend?
Yeah, I can tell you save a lot of money if you're buying
Hey,
if you're buying from like scratch where they actually build the house, then save a
yeah.
lot of money.
Got you. All right, I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket
Because
for future reference.
yeah, when we thought about it, it's like, oh, okay, this is the process easy. We didn't think about like the extra process, such as like upgrades and stuff.
Mm,
Yeah, that they,
yeah,
and how expensive it would be.
yeah. I don't think I would have either. It's just like, all right, because I don't know. I'm still in the mindset like I don't see myself owning a place anytime soon. Probably for the longest time in my life, I'll probably just be like renting. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
find a place. I just paid a monthly deposit, and all right, just put my stuff in. I'm good to go. So I have no idea how actually buying and owning a home would be like.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm probably not gonna own a home. If I do, it'll probably be somewhere that I'm so. This is on the case that I make like a shit ton of money somehow.
Hmm.
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll probably get some place that's like urban,
yeah,
and even then, like the urban places are really expensive. So so I might just be a renter for the rest of my life. Assuming I don't win like the lottery or some shit or whatever, or
Yeah.
I do a drug cartel business down south or something.
Now that like I've seen, because I think the place we are located over there, the new place, is
Mm.
suburban, like
Mm.
tiny. It's still a small community, and I think I like it. Like
I could just see Jim just like twitching over on his side of the
I'm
screen.
not. I don't agree with suburbs because I think you already know my take on it. I'm not a big fan of suburbs because from all the data I've seen, they aren't a very great place to live, just because of how they're designed in a city. Because so one factor that people don't take into account is city planning. So when you plan as like a city or like a neighborhood, you have to take account like, okay, what's gonna be nearby, like the neighborhood, right? So if you want to make something, you want to make it so that people can walk from place to place without relying on a car as their sole means of transportation. Because if you can only drive places by car, there are a bunch of negative health uh problems that you could have. There's a lot of it costs you a lot more money to own a car versus having a good like public transport system. It also um it also makes you feel more isolated from other people because humans are cooperative and very social animals. So because we need to be able to work with other people and meet with other people. But then when you're in a suburb, you're more isolated from each other because if you want to have go to someplace fun that's not your house, you have to drive like 10-15 minutes at least away, to do something, and that leads to a lot of like negative health mental health benefits as well from that.
have we
So
have we talked about this before in the previous episode or
no, I don't think so.
no?
So
Really? Okay.
because I learned this after we talked, like it's like one of our early episodes where we're talking about like, hey, you guys ever see yourself owning a home? And I
Yeah,
think
yeah. Had
I'm not sure if I
hypothetical.
answered it, but I think at the time I said, yeah, I'm cool with suburbs because it's the best part. It has the best parts of rural area while having the good parts of an urban area. But after
Mm.
learning more about how suburbs are in America, then I've changed my take on it. I'm not a big fan of them anymore, and you know,
that's fine.
and so yeah, if I were to live in the suburbs, I probably wouldn't want to do it because unless I have no other choice. But yeah,
All that did was give me a confirmation bias. Like, yes, my initial dream home. I think that's the our hypothetical question. What would our dream
Yeah.
home be?
yeah,
It just like solidified my choice. Like, yes, I was gonna go for like urban city and just like I just want a high rise just so I can look over to all the peasants. I just want all I want is just be really high up and have a good view. That's all I want.
yeah.
And just like see
Suburbs
the
aren't
city lights.
suburbs don't have to be wrong. Like it's just that like if you do it like because Europe has suburbs too, but how they do it was that like no matter where you live in a suburb, like you can always walk a few minutes to a place to get food or for
Yeah.
school, whatever. So
I
the way
I
they do it in Europe
I
is
can
far
confirm.
superior.
I can confirm. I went to France. There were suburbs there.
Yeah, it's far superior to how we do it here. And in Japan too. The houses are small in Japan, don't get me wrong, but in Japan, not only can you walk to any place within a few minutes, there's also a really good public transport system, which costs you less money to have bullet trains and buses everywhere and subways
Yeah.
everywhere than to have for everyone to have a car
Yeah.
that takes up space on the road.
America is lacking right now on public
Yeah.
transportation.
Oh yeah. I think even in France though, we still had to like cuz like my aunt and uncle or was it like yeah, my aunt and uncle like they lived in a suburb and they had to like take a car to drive places too. And we still had like stick in like traffic freeway and all
Mhm.
that. So, it's still not 100% the greatest thing. There's still public transportation, but that was when I went to, or we stayed at my cousin's place, who had an apartment in the city in Paris,
Mhm.
and I don't think she owned a car. She just like walked to like the subway and just like took the train
Yeah.
and just to her workplace, to the gym and all that. I think my mom even like told me while we were there that apparently Paris was like even like considering to just like put a ban on cars in general. So
So
there wouldn't be any.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone just
Nice.
like take public transportation or they just walk.
Yeah, I saw this is neighborhood in Denmark that I saw. This is a different video from the channel that I showed you.
Hmm.
So pretty much what they did with this neighborhood was that before it was like so the wider the lanes you make for a car, the more likely there is to be a car accident because if you give more space for a car, the car is more likely to take up more of the road, and then when
Yeah.
someone's trying to cross, it's more likely for the car to hit them. It's really weird because you would think like the smaller lane, the worse it is, the worse it is for a car because the
Yeah, you
car.
would. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually the opposite. So if you give the car too much space to move around, then it leads to more automobile accidents. So people were dying because they were crossing the street, and then there was cars all the time in the neighborhood. So what they did was that they shrunk the sides of the roads and made it so that you could still drive, but then you're highly incentivized to walk or bike because they also add a bunch of fucking bike bike uh
Bike lanes.
bike racks for you to park your bike
Okay.
at,
Oh, I see. I see.
Oh
I
yeah.
see.
and also electric scooters, electric motorcycles, all that stuff too. So that if you're gonna be moving around faster than you would walking, or if you're not taking public transport, you could park your electric whatever, and then that would cover most of your thing, and then that leads to less emissions overall in general. So people are also a lot healthier because you're biking more, you're walking more. So that has led to very positive changes for that neighborhood in Denmark. And
I would reckon the air is probably like even cleaner too, just because it's
yeah,
not as
yeah,
much like uh emissions from cars.
yeah. So seeing that, I was like, okay, there's no benefits to fucking having this giant air for cars because another problem is that people can have more than one kid, and so when you have kids, the amount of cars on the road eventually multiplies over time, right? So
Yeah, I can confirm that too. Yeah, because
yeah,
like me and all my siblings have cars.
yeah. So yeah, cars aren't bad. Like it's cool if you want to have a car, but I think if having everyone needing a car out of necessity is really really uh bad and self-destructive in the long term.
Hmm.
We just gotta
Yeah.
wait till electric cars become cheaper.
Would that change anything? That could that just still means there'll still be a lot of cars on the road. It's just
Yeah.
it's a
Also, a
little
lot
bit
of car
cleaner.
accidents too.
Yeah.
I think I mean, electric cars is definitely better if for people who want cars, but in terms of like, hey, should everyone have this? I
Oh
think
yeah, I totally agree.
we
It's
need we
not
need we
fair.
need
Yeah.
to change that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It doesn't solve the traffic problem. Because I know like whenever I go on like the freeway and it's just like full, and I just like man, I just wish we had like a fast like subway system or like a efficient one. Like yeah, we have like
well, tell the California government, Paul, why they turned it down.
I
Tell them.
think it's just like it's either just like a funding problem really.
Yeah, there's two problems as to why people don't want bullet trains. One is like it's a very cultural thing to have a car because when you watch like teenage
Yeah,
movies, a
it's
big
such an
part of being a
American thing.
teenager is like I'm gonna get a car, I'm gonna drive and go to a bunch of places, and then I'll be free because I can drive to Las Vegas, I can drive to New York or whatever, right?
Hmm.
And the second thing is that when people see like, oh, this is a giant public transport infrastructure bill for like a bullet train or some something similar to that, they're like, oh, so this is adding to what we're paying with our car insurance, our car gas, and all that stuff that comes with cars too. Because you have to maintain your car, and on top of all the other shit you have to pay on top of
Yeah, you
that.
have to pay taxes for it too.
But people don't think about like, hey, if we invest in public transport, like bullet trains, subways, and all that, you don't in event maybe you won't see the effects right away, but across a long period of time, you the people are not gonna have to need a car out of
Yeah,
necessity,
huge
and so
benefit.
you paying for your own car and all that stuff is going down while the
All
funding for a public transport system is going up. So it's a trade-off, and then the numbers have already been done. The public transport thing is actually less expensive than everyone owning a car
yeah,
and paying for their shit like that.
I would almost argue that is almost that kind of thing is almost happening right now. Not so much with like a decrease in cars. Maybe there is, but it's also just like a lot of economic situations for like younger people, for the younger
Mhm.
generation. It's like harder to own a car. It's sometimes harder to like buy like even like a used car.
Mm-hmm.
More
Yeah.
people are just like using stuff like Uber and all that to
Yeah.
like get to places instead. And I think it's more like a product of the times because as I mentioned before, it's the economy. But also like back then or even now, like do you see so much in movies about like, oh man, I'm gonna get a car, I'm gonna drive places now? Because I think that's like more of a thing you saw in like the '90s or even like the
Yeah.
early
Well,
2000s.
it's very in our culture to have that be in movies. Maybe it's changing a little bit with the rise of Uber, Lyft, and similar rideshare
Hmm.
services, but it's still very entrenched in our minds.
Yeah,
That, like,
yeah,
yeah, having a
Like
car in general is the way
like
to
once
go.
I
Like,
become 18, I can get a car. I can drive anywhere.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's still there.
yeah,
I'm just arguing it's like it's probably past that apex of like it's like you have to have a car, and I think it's probably like on a decline. It's probably like still near the
Yeah.
top, still
It's
really
starting
high,
to
but just like
change to like
it's
you
like
know.
slowly declining in people's need for a car.
Yeah.
yeah. But I think one problem though is that like I've seen this with Uber because I before me and Paul worked out a deal to have
Hmm.
little
Hmm.
trade offer going on, like trade. I offer $60 a week, and then in return Paul gives me rides to work to and from work on the days I work.
Yep.
Um, is that the prices of Uber and Lyft are going up all the time, and it's not at discretion of uh of you and the company. The company just raises the price, and then if you depend on Uber and Lyft, then you don't really have a choice. So
Yeah.
as if they keep increasing prices, there's nothing you can do about it. And I would be more okay with it if they paid their drivers a lot more in return, because their drivers don't make a lot of money, but that doesn't happen. So the increase in fare goes to the company, and then there's nothing that you or a driver can really do about it. And that's one problem that I see with relying on Uber and Lyft as like, hey, this is the future of transport by car. And I
Bullet
think
train.
we need to really evaluate um the cost benefits of that if we were to talk about the culture of cars or car driving in general.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon though, but playing devil's advocate, the alternative, even if the Uber or other ride-sharing programs or companies, even if they like increase the price even more than it was before, like maybe like 100% increase or more than that, it would still probably be cheaper alternative to like buying a car. Obviously, it's not ethical. Obviously, it's like screwing both the customer and the workers over for increasing the price, but it would
The
still.
problem with that, though, the thing about Uber and Lyft, though, is that it it does add up to I think it does add up to more than owning a car, actually, because of a car you're paying it month by month,
Mhm.
obviously, and depending on how often you use it, because I only go to work 2 days a week, whereas most people are going to work at least five, sometimes six, sometimes even seven. And so if they were relying on Uber and Lyft for that, then that shit's going to add up, and eventually I do think it's going to outweigh the cost of owning a car in general.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
does.
reckon it would after a long enough period of time, it would eventually like surpass it. But in the moments in like your day to day, you're probably not thinking like, all right, how many rides do I need to get before it's like more expensive than like buying a car or even buying a used
Yeah,
car.
that's why I think we can't look to cars as being like it's gonna be really hard for the culture to change, because the culture
Because
around
we're
public transport
American.
isn't talked about. Like, most people just accept, like, hey, I need a car and I need to get to place. They don't think about like what
Yeah.
alternatives are there, because they don't know about how like Japan's public transport system works. They don't know about how Europe works, so they don't think
Hmm.
about it. And not that they're wrong, but there's also a lot of other problems that we don't talk about
There's a
more
better
often too.
alternative.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, now,
It's not
now, now,
wrong.
to, now, yeah, I agree with you guys. But to play devil's advocate another time or again, would the same thing happen though if let's say if it's like a bullet train or other train system or other forms of transportation? Would let's say if it's like privately owned as a company, would you still run into the problem of companies overcharging their services and underpaying workers and ripping off customers? Like same with like Uber and all that, but instead of
uh,
like it's a car, it's a train.
yeah. So there's two things about that. One is that it's it's a matter of regulation, because I think with Uber and Lyft, we don't, because it's a relatively new thing that people are aware of. Like, I think
Mhm.
it's been within the last like 5 years maybe,
Yeah.
and there isn't really much regulation on that, especially since California recently uh, uh, kind of let it be deregulated for Uber and Lyft, so they can just do more of what they already want to do. So I think if we regulate the private uh, sector, private industries for for public transport, that can be a way to alleviate it. But then we would also have to compare that to how to a government funded public transport programs to see the results for that. I unfortunately I don't know the studies on that in particular, like relying on a Elon Musk's what's it called, a Hyperloop thing, like
Boring.
comparing that idea to like what already exists by government funded programs like in
Literally
Japan.
Virgin Hyperloop.
We have to see the results. I would imagine that if we that the government funded program would work out better, only because I've seen the Hyperloop. Not to say that a private company can just make something better than a Hyperloop, but
I mean, it's RBG tunnel. That's all it is, bro. And you move at like 5 miles per
yeah,
hour.
yeah, the Hyperloop fucking sucks dick. Okay, like if you guys have seen the fucking videos on it, it's really bad. Like it's like they put you in a pod that goes like slower than a bullet train, and then it fits less people at the same time. It just seems really incredibly inefficient.
Yeah.
So
It's literally a joyride you see at carnivals.
Yeah.
I
Or
I think
it's a
I think we should toss that idea out. But if we're talking about like like a private company making the bullet trains versus like, hey, the government's gonna fund the creation of bullet trains or an infrastructure, then I would imagine the public one's better. But we'll have to see then for that.
I saw a video about this like a sometime last year when I was like interested about like Japanese Shinkansen and bullet trains, and in relation to like the California project of like having like a bullet train system, and why that eventually just lost funding or got canceled. Uh, yeah, I think it was like related to like I think it's either like the federal government just like stopped supporting it or like California just didn't have enough funding. I don't remember the specifics,
Was it
but I
like
heard
a
like
2 billion funding, but California was like, oh no.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I think they just
But
don't want to do it because
Yeah.
as I already explained, like yeah, you're trading off like the cost of cars on that for the public
Mhm.
transport thing, but
Mhm.
that's not how
Yeah.
most people think about it, sadly.
Yeah, and I think I also like saw in that video was that there's like a couple private companies that are interested in picking it up, of like making a bullet train system. And you know me, I prefer if it's like government funded, I prefer federally regulated or even state regulated over private companies, because then we go back to that question I brought up before, like wouldn't private companies just like price gouge their customers similar to like
Yeah.
Uber if it's not properly regulated?
Yeah, like the thing also people don't know about regulation is that so regulations, if you guys don't know, is just like, hey, these are rules you guys have to abide by so you don't fuck over the customers. The thing about regulation, that even if you have really strict ones, like where like, hey, we're gonna hold you to a set of standards and you guys have to maintain it. We're gonna keep a close eye on you. The problem with that is that there's always like a seed that will lead to deregulating. As long as that exists. So that's why I'm more interested in a more public, way to do it, because if you do it publicly, there's no seed for deregulation to happen in the future. Um, but yeah, I would hope that we do that one day. I'm gonna read the comments real quick, just to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
What?
Jedediah says that'd be a good topic to do a cost benefit analysis on. I'm gonna take that idea for future use. Hey, what's up?
Hey,
Hey,
side us.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's about the
Nincompoops, we do
train
more
part.
than talk about
Yeah.
sex and hentai.
Is that Hyperloop thing still happening? Unfortunately, it's still in development. Yeah, I think it's really. I don't think it's very good. I think
if
we
it's
just.
if it's running less, like what you guys have been saying, like it's only 5 miles per hour, then that's that what Paul said is just a fucking
I don't know if
carnival
it's
ride.
literally. I don't know if
No,
it's literally 5 miles per hour. I'm
it's
saying
still
hyperbolic,
fast.
but it's
It's still
it's
fast, but not as fast as a bullet train.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I'm
for for,
saying.
for for the same job, yeah.
Yeah.
And it also carries less people too, so it's just incredibly inefficient.
yeah. It just
Um,
seems like you might as well have like a car at that point because it's literally a tunnel only fit for one car to go at a time. Like so, you have to go in a straight line.
Yeah. So that's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
no, that's a separate thing from the Hyperloop.
Is it
That
really?
yeah
Oh,
that
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 one's the boring tunnel. What
the
Paul
yeah
is
the
saying.
Boeing tunnel. It's the RGB tunnel where they put you in a Tesla and then the Tesla drives itself, but then like it's just like a one road thing. It's like something you'd see in Mario Kart, you know.
Got you. All
Um,
right. Oh right. Was that? Oh right. The hyperloop thing was that. Not so much the car, but it
it's the
It was a
was
pod
pod.
thing.
the pod thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Right. That fit like what in that video, like 4 people or something like that.
4 people. I think they said 8 or something max. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not very efficient. Compared to like a bullet train or even just a regular subway train. Jedi also says I feel like Elon is more interested in cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's pretty. The cryptocurrency is pretty cringe. I'm not a big fan of crypto either.
Mm.
And space exploration now. Yeah, space is cool. I just
He's
don't
just
think
trying
we
to
should
get up.
rely. I don't think we shouldn't rely on Elon Musk to do it. I think we need to keep NASA funded and strong.
What? Don't worry. We don't have to rely on Elon Musk now. We got good old Jeff Bezos
Yeah.
hopping into.
He also says California had a long history of being against big infrastructure projects. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Since the early '60s, I believe with government Braun, maybe you meant Brown seniors plan to
Oh, Governor
upgrade
Brown,
the
yeah.
LeBron Senior.
I
LeBron.
remember
uh,
Brown. I remember
to
that
upgrade
guy.
the California water systems. I don't know why, but it's been the state hates big projects. Yeah, I don't know, man.
They just lazy.
uh crypto to the moon says I never.
Hey, to the
Nah.
moon.
Yeah, I saw Braun. I was like LeBron James.
Yeah, LeBron's James Senior.
Um, but yeah, yeah, public transport is one of the things that people don't really talk about much
Yeah.
because people just don't know. Whereas
Very
with me, I know a lot of things that most people don't. So that's it, I just wish it's something people were more aware of. But yeah, I'm hoping people are more open to it in the future. But yeah,
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at Google images of the Hyperloop now. I mean, initially at first, like, oh look, that looks kind of cool. It kind of looks like a bullet train, and then I take a closer look in some of the pictures, like, oh wait,
It's like 4 people.
well, it's not. It's not so much 4 people. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 6. So 16. It fits like 32 people from this picture, and that's like the big one I see. But I was like,
Isn't it like 2 people in the front, 2 people in the back?
the one I'm looking
Or
at that's
is it
like
like-
from the one from Wikipedia. It's like 2 people. It's like your traditional aisle, like 2 on one side, 2 on the other side, and
Ah,
it goes back. I see about 8 rows.
I thought
So it's about
the back side was
16.
facing the back also.
I see that picture of that one from a couple whenever last year, and I see that too. That looks dumb, but
Can't even talk.
it's starting to look. It's starting to. I'll admit, it's starting to look a little bit more like a bullet train, but I don't see it holding that
It's
many
still
people.
really small.
It still looks really small in comparison to just like a normal
An actual
bullet
bullet
train, a bullet train from the '60s that Japan already figured out.
yeah, California has had a bad history with public transport because so this happened in the like 100 years ago in Los Angeles. So when Los Angeles was designing their city, they saw what happened in New York and what happened in Chicago because Chicago and New York has not the best, but for U.S. standards, pretty good public transport systems with like their subways and buses and all that. And Los Angeles was like, nah, we ain't doing that. We're doing our own thing. Cars for everybody. There'll be a car in every household. Everyone's gonna drive everywhere, and everyone will be free. And
That was
then
a good idea at the time.
and unfortunately, he didn't have the foresight to see what happened if everyone had kids and the kids have cars, and those kids have their own kids, and so on and so on and so on. And so if you go to LA now, for you fellow Californians who are aware with LA, it's not working too well. Kind of hard to get to places in
Yeah,
LA.
they can't
And,
even get to places in LA. They're stuck in traffic.
like all the
I can
time.
remember whenever we went to go visit and I was the driver. I hated it. It took us like how many hours just to get to the zoo?
almost 2 hours. It was
2 hours. Yeah. I was
And
like,
yeah, LA's huge too. Like there's so many people. It's the second biggest city in the United States, so there's a bunch of people just crammed in that spot, just trying to get through to go to work or school or whatever it is.
oh, that would have been like a 30-minute drive, but it took 2 hours.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough indeed. It was like I think we decided like let's not go back.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm for plane trip than road trip.
Yeah.
It just saves the fucking time.
Yeah, like I think you're uncomfortable in both, but at least with the fucking plane, you can go to the bathroom anytime while you're up
Yeah.
there. Like,
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
someone's hogging the fucking bathroom for no reason.
It's not as uncomfortable for me just because like I was like hell yeah planes. It brings out the little kid in me, but
also
yeah, I
you're not
get
in
that.
there as long too. Like, imagine
Yeah,
flying to
go on
LA
shorter.
versus driving. Oh my god, you
Yeah.
save so much time.
So much.
Mhm. Indeed. What else?
Yeah, if the bullet train was in L.A. or like a regular Japanese
Yeah,
rail station,
imagine Japan's transport system, but in California. Like, holy
Holy
shit,
shit.
dude!
that's
Like, everyone would want to fucking move here.
yeah. Everyone would be like, "Yo, I can get to this like point A to point B in like 5 minutes," and it's like
Hey,
Or you
what's the
get-
problem? What's the problem with California? Oh, you guys have earthquakes. Well, shit, it's like that in Japan. Might as well. It's like American Japan, basically. California.
you forgot to add like statewide wildfires to that list.
Well, in this universe, that doesn't happen.
In this universe,
in this universe of
in this universe,
uh,
we actually all this country actually made smart decisions and elected the right leaders.
Yeah.
And people made sure to follow what was actually happening and actually make sure their leaders would do what they're supposed to do. Why they voted them to office?
Yeah.
It
There'll
was
be no
rational.
wildfire.
In a world that made sense.
Yeah.
yeah,
We'd be like, wildfires? What wildfires? You know?
Dude.
But
Imagine how far along we'd be as a country if things actually made sense. If we actually people did what they were supposed to do, or our political leaders actually did what was best for the country, and not because for their corporate donors.
we're
Yeah, I could be-
probably
I
in
could
the
be-
future that they've been like picturing.
we could be like right now, after the podcast, we could be like planning to take a bullet train down to SoCal
Yeah.
within a few hours
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
You know?
just chill. Like I was like, I know a good spot in like LA. Get some good food.
Yeah,
Get some good burritos.
Yeah, I mean, sure, there's like the fare and everything just to get burritos, but still, we want SoCal burritos. We can get SoCal burritos, you know?
I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
I might just stay. I might just get like a hotel, stay there for the night, come back the next day.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that too. You can just do that.
The possibilities.
The possibilities, man.
Yeah, we like our state could have been the envy of the rest of the country, you know?
Hmm. Or who knows? Maybe it also would have been in other states as well, in other parts of the country too. Like if you wanted to like go from the East Coast to the West Coast, or vice versa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
in a couple
we could
hours.
try Whataburger without like needing like okay, we're going to plan out all this shit for Whataburger. We can just like take the train there or some shit.
Hey,
It might,
to be
take,
fair,
it might take a while, but you know.
Look, the only person who was like looking forward to that hypothetical trip was Ron. That was the only one who
Yeah,
cared.
I think Ron really wants to go to Texas, but just hasn't found a reason to go.
I think he's just busy with whatever he has right now.
His plan was.
I mean,
his
yeah,
plan was
this-
road trip.
He's busy, but then like if he has time, like he would. If he had a reason to go to Texas, he would, But
Dude, imagine how
He
much
didn't have
time Ron would save from his trips between like SoCal and here.
Yeah,
If we had like a
that's
bullet
what I'm saying.
train.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
I think because he still has to go like point A to point B. I'm not sure if we're talking about like if the base has the military base is in has a train station, because I think for where he's at, it's like it's just land,
Mm.
like hills and stuff. So I don't know if they're gonna have a train station there for his thing, because he has to go
Gotcha.
point A to point B.
That is true.
Yeah, so
But
he
I'm
might
just
need
saying-
a car.
Yeah. But I'm just basing this on the fact that he has to drive between
Yeah, right.
here and there like so often.
Yeah, like like just for like when he wants to visit, I think that would be great.
Yeah, indeed.
Point A, point B.
And in this in this
Also,
hypothetical world where things made sense, there'd probably be like easier like transportation, like buses and all that
Yeah.
you could
also, I
use.
think there'd be less breakups because if you only need a few hours to see your boyfriend or girlfriend across the state, it doesn't take that long to see them.
Oh hell yeah!
Whereas if your girlfriend's going to school in LA and you're just chilling here, and she's around a bunch of other dudes, it takes like 8 hours to see you. Like things happen.
Things can
That's
happen.
funny.
Long distance ain't so long distance no
Yeah,
more.
exactly.
See, we want this not just
Oh
for
man,
I mean,
yeah.
your sanity, for your financial
we're
life.
trying
We're
to
trying to
save your
save
marriages and relationships.
This is
Okay.
for romance. Oh my god!
Canada wouldn't be too far either.
I know, right?
True. We can get our drugs from there.
I thought this is a hypothetical world that made sense.
Yeah, but Canadian drugs, they probably have like maple syrup inside or something.
I
They
thought
had
you,
it. They have
I
it in their
thought,
maple syrup. It's inside the maple syrup.
I
There
thought
you
you meant
go.
like
Yeah.
I thought you meant like drugs, like insulin or something.
No, I meant like
The fun
drugs.
ones, the fun
Fun
ones.
ones. Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
Your romance advice is impeccable. Hey, thank you. It just comes with the job.
All right, we're all human beings. We all feel lonely at night. At times, we're just like,
Yeah,
man.
you can do like a hookup from West Coast to East Coast, and then
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be too long.
This pillow looking mighty hot right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just be like, hey, shit, I live in California, you live in Florida. Hey, see you in like half a day or something.
I did that once. I took a fucking bullet train
I too also
Just-
took a bullet train.
just for a date.
Well, I can't say the same for that, but if we had bullet trains in California, I would have the chance to have that experience. Okay, so
Yes,
yeah.
you step up,
it's
step up.
better than nothing. Indeed. I'm still curious about how much the price would be though, because we're making it sound like you could just like jump on a train willy nilly.
I mean,
It was
think
still like
If
it was
it's
still
if
expensive
it's what
in
Jim
Japan
said,
though.
if it's like public, I'm pretty sure it'd be
It-
affordable.
that's more affordable than a plane ticket,
Yeah.
but more expensive than like a bus ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something like that.
I don't know because was it while in Japan was those bullet trains was that privately or publicly owned?
I'm pretty sure they're publicly, but I'm not too
Publicly
familiar with
owned?
Japan
Yeah, I
Japan
don't know.
funding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Japan funding.
Because even then when we took the a train from Tokyo over to like I think it was
Osaka.
Osaka, yeah, it's still like $200 per ticket. It was still
Yeah,
expensive.
Wasn't it?
Was it 100?
Yeah, it was
it was like
120.
it was like 100 something. Yeah.
100 something?
Yeah, I'm not saying it would be cheap, but then like just having I'm not saying it's affordable for everyday thing, but if you
Yeah,
have the money
definitely
for it and it's something you want to do, it's definitely a lot more
Like every
open
now and then.
available. Yeah.
Like, shit, I do.
If you want, like you could probably do it like once every couple weeks. If
I
you
go to
wanted
San
to.
Diego like once a week for my
Yeah.
Coca's dilemma.
At the very least, you have the option of doing it.
Who's stopping me? Who's gonna judge me for going to Coco's? Like,
And no one, because everyone else would also be like traveling like between like north and south all the
yeah, I
time.
bet you they'd be like, I bet you they'll judge me, but they have their things packed, ready to get some Coco's. Like,
Cocos.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't bring it back though. I tried when I took my cousin and I to like LA back in like 2019, right, but almost before like the pandemic happened or people knew about COVID.
Mm.
Like I tried to bring some Cocos back for you guys, like some packs, and they're like, no.
Yeah, they don't have the packs. Yeah, you still have to order and then just eat it cold.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And I was like,
Yeah.
it'll definitely be cold by the time I bring a bowl back to you guys.
Shit, I'd still eat it.
You still eat it, you madman.
There's a thing called microwave.
Yeah, sure, I suppose. But still.
I'd still.
Yeah. Man, this is making me crave like outside food right now.
Me too.
Yeah.
I just
get
been
it.
eating. I just been eating food at home a lot.
I ate breakfast at 4. Or, no, 5 p.m.
AM?
Yeah, p.m.
PM?
Yeah.
Whoa! When did
No.
you wake up?
I've been up since like 11.
You crazy dude! You didn't decide to go. I'm gonna go eat probably around like noon or something.
That's what I was thinking, that I just completely forgot because we were playing games.
Yeah, I can't judge because I also wake up pretty late, so
Yeah.
can't say
I'll
nothing.
wake up really early in the morning and it just pisses me off because I just slept for like 2 hours. I'm like, Why?
Mm.
Well, except for yesterday. I slept early yesterday, and I woke up at like 7. That's
Yeah,
actually a good time to wake up, but I was just like, yeah, go
yeah,
back to sleep.
yeah. I woke up at 10 today just because, like, all right, I'm not gonna be doing my morning run because it's Wednesday, so I'm like, all right, get to sleep in.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, so like waking up early is always something I want to do, but then whenever it happens, I'm just like, nope, I'm going back to sleep.
yeah.
Like there's people who just wake up at 6, 7 a.m. and then they start a day. But for me, I'm just like, dang, but I wanna I wanna go back. This ain't it. And then
Yeah.
you know,
I think one
yeah.
time last week, it was like I was laying around 4 a.m. and then I
Mm-hmm.
guess I fell asleep, and then I woke up at like around 4:30,
What? 30
wide
minutes?
wide awake, and I'm just like, fuck, I can't go back to sleep.
Damn, that's a B.
Yeah. So I was just on my phone. So I was like, all right, I think I can force myself now.
If you guys,
I
let's say like
good.
hypothetically, you guys no longer needed to sleep. Like for the time you spend sleeping, you just stay awake instead. So you're awake 24/7. Would you guys think you guys would be more productive or as equally productive?
Equally.
Yeah,
Equally
probably
productive.
equally because like when I wake up in the morning, I mean it's probably just due to the fact I don't really have to do anything besides like work out and study French for fun because I don't currently work. But it's just
Hmm.
like I get a lot of stuff done when I wake up early in the morning. It's like all right, I'm pretty much by the time like it hits like noon, I'm like all right, I kind of more or less finished all the stuff I need to do. Now it's just the rest of the day. Like all right, I'm just gonna sit here, watch videos, or play games, I guess.
I might get a
Hmm.
graveyard shift just to like pass the time
Mm,
and earn money. Because no
indeed.
one else is awake at
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
the godly hours.
indeed.
So you might as well.
I remember thinking the same thing though before I got my graveyard shift. And just like, I mean, I'd stay up until like 2 or 3 in the morning, anyways. What's another 3 hours? And then at the time, we're like, oh shit, I'd like once it 4 a.m. rolls around, like fuck, I just want to go to sleep so bad, but I can't because I'm at work.
Hi,
Hello, friends.
welcome.
We have an unexpected guest, and yet he's not
Unexpected
speaking.
guest.
Sorry, this is the Wednesday, huh? Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
today is a Wednesday. Yes.
Well then, I shall
Yeah.
bid my adieu.
All
Do
right.
you? Alright.
Sorry. My bad.
Damn, he just added your name and everything, dude.
Oh, did he? Oh, alright,
Yeah.
alright, let's just end this then. Alright,
All right. Yeah, we're just talking about like if hypothetically, if you no longer need to sleep, like you were awake 24/7, would you be
um,
more productive or equally productive?
I think more productive? I mean, if I don't get tired, like I'll be more productive. But I feel like I'll go crazy.
I want to say the same, but I know myself because like ever since the pandemic, I've had more time to do things, and I have not been more productive. I would have been the same sack of shit I was before.
The same sack of
Yeah,
potatoes.
yeah.
It,
So
var- it varies what you do though.
yeah, and like when the pandemic started, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna with all this free time, I'm gonna get more sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep earlier, wake up later, and have more time to do things I want to do instead of worrying about the commute to school and all that shit.
Do
But then what ended up happening? I did the same shit,
Same
except I had
stuff.
I had a few more hours doing the same shit than
Same
just
stuff, different day.
yeah. So I imagine with those extra 8 hours, I'd still be lazy. So
I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah.
what's the extra 8 hours if you sleep 8 hours? I sleep like 10 hours, so
You sleep 10 hours? Damn. You sleep in.
dude, no, I don't sleep in. My body's just tired.
10 hours, though. That's quite a lot.
No, it's not. I listen to my body, Paul. If it says, "Hey, you tired, fool," and I'd be like, "Okay, I'm tired."
I get like 6 to 7 hours, and then I'm usually good to go.
Yeah, but I work out a little too much for some
Mm.
no reason.
Yeah, probably. I just did the basic, like, all right, I'm gonna go for my morning run, and then later on in the day, just do a little bit more, and then that's it.
I haven't ran in a while.
We should
Yeah,
we
I'll
should
be.
just build a giant hamster wheel outside the house.
Power generator.
Yeah. That's
I
like,
hear solar panels are kind of expensive, but this hamster
bro,
wheel though.
yo, solar panels are expensive, but uh, according to the builder agent, as of this year, I think
Yeah.
all houses built or currently being built will have
Solar.
solar.
That's California. That's California law though.
California.
It's
Yeah.
like they have to have like solar panels.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, I heard a discussion about this, and some people were like making like arguments against it, like it's gonna increase the prices of housing even more.
it's only like 3K.
Mm.
I mean,
But,
Actually, no.
but wouldn't you be paying less for like PG&E though,
In the
right?
long run, in the long
So
run,
Yeah.
you know.
I guess so. The method, because this is what the solar panel company called my mom, and he was explaining like the stuff. So you have like a month. It's like Wi-Fi, like a 1 gigabyte 10 is it 1 gigabyte Wi-Fi? Where
Hmm.
if you don't pass the thing, like the limit of the electricity bill, they pay you. But if you pass, you pay the extra.
Oh,
Yeah, so you know it benefits you if you don't use a lot of electricity.
Mm.
like
is
is
it
it?
because like in general, or like solar panels?
For the solar panels, and
Hmm.
for yeah. So
Okay, so you have the potential to actually like kind of get back what you're paying the 3K for, basically.
yes, like
Yeah, I see.
it's big. It's you know, like that's why we upgrade to like a bigger more solar panels, because your limit increases. So like the base one was like 240
Kilowatts.
kilowatts, I think, or 300 around there. And then we
Mhm.
checked our monthly PG&E, and we're like kind of over it every month. So, you know, we decided to upgrade to that way. Now
Mm.
that it's a big house, there's probably more electricity running,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
know,
There's gonna be more computers hooked up,
yeah.
and, and then I feel bad for our neighbors, Miho,
Why?
because we're gonna run the power line to run our mining company.
Oh yeah.
Mining cup, right? That's the first I heard of this. What is
Is
this
it like crypto
nefarious
mining,
plan
or
you
is
guys
this
got?
like Minecraft mining? You guys are trying to find diamonds. Like,
Minecraft mining for me.
okay,
I'll
okay.
be up all night playing Minecraft.
You're
I'll
just
be I'll
gonna.
be
This
I'll be
it
up there.
sounds just like Dean screaming about creepers.
For real, they're so annoying. Cause I play without sound.
You
I,
play
I
that
just
sounds?
I just have subtitles on the bottom corner, and I'm just mining. Cause sometimes I get annoyed with the eerie noises.
Oh, that
Yeah,
the
the
cave
random eerie
noises,
noises. So I just
random
turn it
cave
off,
noises.
and I keep forgetting to turn back the sound on, and then I'm just minding my own business. Turn around, there's a creeper fucking ready to explode on me. I was so mad. I lost all my diamonds.
Damn, son.
But yeah,
It's been. When was the last time I touched Minecraft? It's been like a hot minute. Probably at least like probably a year at this point, maybe.
probably. They have an
Yeah.
update this summer. I don't know when that's coming out.
Mm.
They have two updates this year. Because they split one big update into two regular size updates. One's like the. I forgot, but I think it's just the mobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the axolotl. Little weird. Little, I think they're amphibians.
Okay.
And then goats. They're adding goats. I don't know what else. And then
Sure.
the second update's like the biome, where it's like
Mm.
the mountain. They're redoing the mountain and caves.
Well, it's all gonna be the same for me, anyways. Whenever
Yeah.
I decide, like, I kind of want to build stuff before I eventually get bored and quit. And just be like, oh shit, what's this stuff? Like it is every time. So I'll see it when I see it
I
one
have a
day.
server running.
Oh yeah, you do.
Oh yeah, are you still paying for that, or did you like
Yeah,
stop
I
paying for
mean,
it after?
Sazette and her friends are playing it, so I'm like, all right,
Oh, okay, okay,
All right, at least he's
okay,
getting used out of it.
yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
So
Well, that's
you know,
that's something we all played. Because
together.
I didn't play very much of it when I got the game, but
Yeah, it's been a
yeah.
while since we all
Yep.
played together.
Yep.
I finished a lot of projects.
I can't.
In
I
this
can't
server.
do the same thing.
So, once I finished all my projects, I was like, all right, I'm content. But yeah, we're an hour in. How you guys feel?
Tired, sleepy. Just had a yawn. Nap sounded right about nice. I probably won't take it. It's gonna fuck up my sleep schedule anyway.
Trying to get my mind ready for getting fucked in Valorant later.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Ah.
Leron joined earlier asking if we were playing, and we said that we'll probably be on after the podcast.
Yeah, we told him. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's it. Outro us out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, catch us next week at the same time, same day. At the you know what time it is by now. It's been 41 episodes. You know what time. All the links you need is in the description below. What if you want to watch us on YouTube? We already have episodes 1 through 40 uploaded, and this one's gonna be uploaded soon as 41. If you want to watch us live, yada yada. Link description below. And also, welcome back, Jedediah, to the chat. It's been a while since we had a active live chat.
Yep.
Usually,
while.
it's I've never sometimes giving a comment or two, but it's a nice welcome back, I guess. And congrats on finishing your first semester of graduate school. You said you have 3 more. You're almost there, buddy.
Wow.
It's a scam.
I never says I lurk more than I talk. Hey, that's fine too. But hey,
That's fine.
if you talk, it's also cool because we like getting comments so we can see what you guys react, or when you guys react to our stuff. And if you're watching this on YouTube, drop comments reacting to whatever if you want, so we can know what you think about public transport. If you think we're full of shit, hey, let us know. All right.
I mean, we are called Nincompoops for a reason.
Now
Yeah.
we know you're free, Jedediah. Now we know.
And we're probably gonna
Anymore.
hop on Valorant. Are we gonna have an open spot?
We have. I
Whenever we're back.
think we have 5 total.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
It seems like Ron's gonna play, right?
Yeah.
Or both Rons are playing today.
Yeah. Seems like it.
Okay. But yeah. If there's an open spot, we'll let you guys know. Okay. Other than that, hope you guys had a good day, and hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.
Oh,
Later.
She said it can join. Hey.
Oh yeah, look. We forgot. We had thank you for joining us, our special guest Ron.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
You were very late, but you know what? It's all right.
I keep forgetting.
He works a limited schedule.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Peace out.
Ron's going on the Joe Rogan podcast right after this. So
Yeah, he's
See him
very
there.
late.
he's
Peace out.
very busy with podcasts.